Welcome to the lobby, boy.
Yeah, we are. Welcome to See You in the Lobby, the extreme bar edition, with
The bar edition.
drinks and
Tequila,
the such,
which you guys know we love.
Which, yeah, it's we have a lot going on here.
With our new friends at 21 Seeds.
I was about to say, we've been waiting for this moment forever.
I feel like, Matt, have we made it? We have a tequila sponsor.
I cannot stress enough. We have a tequila sponsor.
I'd like to thank our fans. Without you guys.
Without you guys, we wouldn't be having 10 a.m. tequila.
All right. Well, for this episode, we are going to make a blackberry margarita.
We sure are using a recipe on your phone.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Pour up the cucumber jalapeno tequila.
What am I doing? How much
Let's
of it?
see your bartender skills.
It's not good.
2 ounces.
I told you that I want to take classes really badly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think
maybe you should.
I think it's a skill that is very useful. But
Can you measure 2 ounces?
Woo! It smells really good.
It's
just
10:51 a.m.,
It's
guys.
just 10 a.m.
All right, 2 ounces.
You think I know what 2 ounces is?
Let's see.
Here you go.
Perfect. All right. Now, I need that.
Ooh.
Now we need some blackberry simple syrup. We're improvising.
Let's do it. Is it good if I have tequila on
Oh,
the
it
table?
smells really good.
It smells really good.
Okay. Now, fresh lime juice.
That's enough, right? Yeah.
Oh shoot, I dropped it.
It's just
All
small
right.
sips this morning.
You want to shake it up to the beat of the bell?
I think that, well, you have to sing then.
Making margaritas in the morning. Making margaritas in the morning.
People watch this show. Do people actually watch this?
Now,
Okay.
pour it up, bartender. Oh, hold on, we forgot the simple syrup.
Oh yeah, drop that in. Hold on. That means we have to. Oh, there's liquid everywhere. This is a nightmare. This is. Oh
shit. So I don't think Matt's bartending dreams are gonna happen.
Who's thirsty?
Just pour it up.
Who's thirsty?
Just pour it up.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think we're gonna start small. We have to start light. Oh, there's just.
I think Matt needs to have other.
I have
other
a mic.
dreams.
I have a microphone in the way. Oh, that's good. That's enough.
How did I end up with all unfair?
No. Okay. Oh, just a little ice. Maybe you want to pour some back in mine. You haven't drank it out of it yet.
What? Some here.
You want to just.
Okay, guys, this is our first time making drinks on set, so bear with us.
Oh, wait. There's a cucumber. I'm drenched at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. No, this is good. You ready?
Guys, we did it. It's a little messy.
We're sponsored.
But we did it. Cheers to our first.
Oh, the cucumber is getting in the way.
This is delicious.
It actually is amazing.
Yeah, this is very good.
I think I'm a
It's
natural.
a good 11 a.m. cocktail.
Wow.
Thanks, 21 Seeds.
21 Seeds. Thanks, friends.
All right, let's do this. We have lots to talk about.
Anybody have a towel?
Oh shoot. Do we need a towel sponsor now?
Yeah, we might.
Bed Bath and Beyond. Where you at?
Or I need a bartending school sponsor. We need a couple of sponsors. Anyway, I think it's time to talk about the NCAA tournament. You ever heard of it?
It's that thing where a lot of teams play and there's some upsets.
A lot.
Where 2 number 1 seeds go down.
Like I don't know if I've witnessed an opening weekend like this in the women's tournament. I can't even remember that far back. This has been insane.
It has been. It's been super. It's good. I mean, we talked about it before the tournament started, how this field was super open, and outside of South Carolina, there was really no clear dominant team. And I think the open of the tournament really proved that.
No, I agree. I mean, 2 number 1 seeds went down before the Sweet 16 for the first time, I think, since like 1998 that's happened.
Crazy.
I'm trying to remember all the stats. I think it was only 7 before this year, only 7 number 1 seeds hadn't reached the Sweet 16. Then in back-to-back nights, that happened.
Yeah, it's crazy. And what makes it even more impressive for Ole Miss and for Miami is that it was done on the other team's home floor.
Wild.
And you've heard us being close to the Big Ten with Maryland, you've heard all season that Indiana has one of the best crowds in the game. So for Miami to go in and to win, and I don't know what the final numbers were, but I would imagine, maybe 10, we'll say 10,000, to go in there and win in a hostile environment with You're playing the number 1 seed. You're on their home floor with so much at stake. And for them to pull that out was super impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it on TV, even in the Miami game, filled with Indiana fans. I hope some Miami fans traveled, but it was an Indiana home game because it was an Indiana home game.
And I just want, for the record, to show that all season long, I said Indiana is not it. They were so overhyped and overrated to me. Just watching them play, I never watched them play and was like, that is an elite team. They're a good team, but they didn't have, in my opinion, the team that the media was portraying. But hats off to them. First time in school history, they were number 1 seed. Yep. The highest ranking they had. So congratulations on that. But I was never sold on them as a Final Four team or an elite team.
They were very prone to slow starts, and that came to bite them in this round. I mean, now it's the tournament. You can't have slow starts. Every team is coming at your throat because this is do or die, and they finally suffered for it. And hopefully a number of players will come back for Indiana. Grace Berger can't.
I was going to say, does she have a 9th year?
She doesn't have a 9th year. Her time is spent, but if Mackenzie Holmes comes back, it's easy to see how they might have the pieces to try to put something special again. And hopefully this does a number for recruiting as well, right? Being a number 1 seed in the tournament, you're like, all right, you've established that Indiana has made it somewhere, and maybe that next recruit can bring it to the next level. So not the end of Indiana, but hell of a run for Miami.
Yeah, I mean, congrats to Miami. I really like Katie Myers. She's been a coach that I've always admired. I mean, playing against her in my career in the ACC and seeing her since, she's a good person. She's always given me good vibes. So happy to see that. And first time since 1992, I remember when they put that graphic up, I couldn't believe that she had not been to a Sweet 16. I'm not sure how long she's been there, but I don't think she's been there since 92. So, I mean, congrats to them. They had a really hard-fought game. They executed their game plan, missed a couple of free throws at the end, and still found a way to win that game. So exciting. The women's basketball needs this. They need that
100%.
parity. They need these upsets. They need these storylines. And, the press conference when, her name's slipping my mind. Who hit the game winner?
Destiny Walker.
Yeah. When she was just like, I was told go fucking win this. Like, they was like, don't censor the players. This is moment that
Hilarious.
Not everybody ever gets to experience. She got to hit a game winner in the NCAA tournament to beat the number 1 seed. Like, that's that raw emotion that you like to see.
And it was so tense. The back and forth in the final few minutes was wild. And Indiana's freshman Garzone hitting that step back 3 to tie the game also was like, holy shit, this is a game.
No. And let me say, I've never been so nervous in my life watching sports as I have been since I started betting on them.
Yes. Between fandom and betting, it's hard. It's hard out here.
Yeah, playing in games, I've never was that nervous because it's
out of your control.
That's the thing. When you're in the game, you have some control over what's going to happen. So there's no real reason to be nervous. But I'm sitting there on my FanDuel app, oh gosh, all right, come on, Miami, I got y'all winning this. Come on. So no, yeah, I've never been so nervous as I have been when I've started to bet. But again, hats off to Miami. That's a great, huge accomplishment. And then, Stanford.
Yeah,
I think they're another team that we talked about all season that we just weren't sold on.
Never were.
So my question to you, well, first let's Ole Miss and
Coach Yo has done a hell of a job.
She's done a great job, and she seems like one of those coaches that her players really enjoy playing 100%. For her and playing for her and for her, as the double entendres, they want to win it for her. And she motivates them. They executed their game plan. Stanford's also a team that traditionally is always well coached, always executes their game plan. They were playing at home. And again, to come in and to beat Stanford, team that won a national championship a couple of years ago, it's no easy feat.
Ole Miss got Stanford to play jumpy, messy. That's what happened. That wasn't the Stanford teams that we're used to in the past. They were turning the ball over. They were missing a ton of easy shots. It looked like a team that was completely disoriented, which shout out to Ole Miss defense.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Absolutely. So I got a question for you, my friend. I just want to ring the bell.
It's time.
And take a drink. I'm not going to be the only one drinking at 11 a.m.
I got you.
I remember my first drink.
It actually tastes really good.
It does
which
taste
is helping.
really good.
Usually I'm like,
You right.
listen, again, it's early.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
Do you think Stanford's early exit, and honestly, this is a down year for Stanford. They had some pretty bad L's this season.
They did.
Do you think this affects Haley Jones' draft stock?
It's a good question. Yeah, it felt like all year long we were talking about a combination of Aaliyah is going to go number 1. That was obvious. And then Diamond Miller, Haley Jones was this toss-up at 2-3. Now I'm not so sure that it's even a matter of 2-3. I feel like Diamond Miller is going to go number 2. I'm not even sure if Haley Jones goes number 3 at this point. I think early in Haley's career, especially when she was a sophomore, they won the championship, most outstanding player. It was so obvious that Haley's a special talent, and I still think she is. But she hasn't improved in the areas that everyone has had knocks on her for over the last couple of years, which has been very disappointing. I mean, she still hasn't developed her jumper, still hasn't expanded her range, still isn't as disciplined on defense than maybe we would have hoped for. And yeah, I do think this is going to matter a little bit, especially as teams are looking in that lottery range to hopefully find a franchise cornerstone player. I still think Haley Jones has the talent to be that player. I'm just not sure that she's proven it yet.
It definitely affects her draft stock. When you're a senior and you're in the tournament and you're, in the talks of being, a top 5 pick, when you're on the number 1 seed, all eyes are on you. These scouts are expecting you to perform. How do you perform under pressure? How can you lead your team in these moments? And I just didn't think she did that. No knock to her, but I didn't see it. I didn't see that and I mean, we're of course biased towards Diamond, but if you look at that second half of the Maryland-Arizona game, I know Coach B challenged Diamond at halftime and said, step up. We need you to win this game. And you look at that second half, Diamond came out on a mission. She was challenged. She is a senior. She did what she needed to do to lead her team to victory. And I didn't see that dog in Haley where she just tied up her shoes, give me the ball. I'm going.
And I wanted
it.
Yeah,
I'm going to win this for us. So I think it does hurt. And then if you look at her stats over the years, to your point, she hasn't gotten any, her points per game have been the same the last 3 years. Her 3-point percentage has actually dropped. She shot 9% from the 3-point line today. I mean, this year. So I'm just.
But if you're going to play a guard position, you gotta be able to shoot.
If you look at it right now, what she does best is rebounding. She's a great rebounding guard. Is that going to sustain you at the next level? Not necessarily. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But I didn't see that dog in her, and I know that's what a lot of W teams are looking for when they're going to scout these players. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that's the only way you can really put it. But yeah, I do think it's going to matter. I think that them losing this early, especially at home in her senior year, it burns. And
if we're comparing, we are comparing Haley and Diamond a lot because that's what you see 2-3. I personally, and this is my total unbiased opinion toward Diamond, she's going to be the better pro. She has a game that's going to translate better to the next level. Her athleticism, what she's able to do, her ability to get to the rim. Definitely things Diamond needs to improve on. But if I'm a W team and I'm looking at upside, I'm gonna go with Diamond.
All right, I totally agree. I mean, you can see even the work Diamond has put in on her jumper. It's not perfect yet, but she has that range now. She has the confidence to take the ball off the dribble. She's looking more and more like a complete pro as time goes on, especially in this tournament.
Yeah. One last question, then we can move on from this. But does that make you question Haley's commitment to the game if you haven't seen any improvements? If you're a GM or a coach of a W team and you look at her stats and see no improvement, does that make you question her dedication?
It's a question I have for you too, but I think it's always hard as just a person who's sitting and watching games and you're not there in the day-to-day. I don't know how Tara is directing Haley on a day-to-day basis. I don't know how Haley's playing in practices. I don't know how Haley is practicing over the summer, who she's working with, what she's working on, what Haley herself thinks needs to work on. And those are all questions that are very important when you're trying to see, maybe I'm expecting her to improve on this, but maybe that's not the game she's trying to go towards and she's focused on some other things. I think it'd be a huge overstatement for me to say that I question Haley's commitment to the game. She's one of the best players in the world playing for one of the best teams in the world. But I would say that the lack of improvement in the areas that most have called out for it's concerning. I wouldn't say it's a knock on her as part of her like commitment to the game. But I'm curious for you. How do you feel about it?
No, I mean, I agree with you. You can't play at a high level and not be committed to some extent. Like, again, she's playing on one of the best teams in the country. She's been an All-American. Like,
most outstanding player.
Yeah,
in the tournament.
like there is some commitment to that. But to your point, it is concerning that she had shot 9% from the 3-point line.
She's not even really taking them. Yeah,
it drastically declined, and just not seeing her stats really improve. And then what's concerning for me is that as a senior and like an elite level senior, that senior year, your stats usually skyrocket, especially on Stanford. They didn't really have many options this year. Like, they had Cameron and it was Haley. So she should be taking over games. So her scoring ability does come into question. That sophomore year when she got, MOP, it's still like it's like still the same player.
Yeah, that's what sucks. I hate when you see a player who's super young and you're like, imagine what they're going to be when they're a senior, and they don't really hit that expectation. It maybe, that kind of feels bad.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Also, I mean, they did lose, but shout out to Stanford for fighting through illness as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw Cameron Brink getting like IV treatment just 2 days ago or 2 days before the game, and she's like eating applesauce on the side. I can only imagine a stomach virus goes through teams, as you well know.
It's not fun.
I'm not sure if any other players were sick, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were. So listen, Stanford fought, but the L at home in the round of 32, it burns.
Yeah, it does for sure.
Shall we move on? I think we should talk a little bit about beef.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We love talking beef on this show.
I do. And the thing is, Haley Van Lith already gave us one. We're going to win this shit.
We're going to win this shit.
I say it all the time because it's so funny.
And how much did they get blasted by?
It wasn't good. It wasn't good, but I love the effort. But there was a bizarre handshake kind of fight between Texas and Louisville after Louisville blew out Texas, which shout out to them.
I didn't see that coming. I had Texas winning that.
But there was a weird moment in the handshake line where a Texas player, I don't know what was said. It's very hard with the camera view to find out what happened, but clearly based on the look of Haley Van Lith, something was not good as she kind of brushed her off. And then some of her teammates started talking back and forth as well. What did you see, and how do you feel about seeing that video?
Okay, so it's always so easy to magnify that one moment because the cameras were on it, and they just won, and Haley's reaction, that probably stemmed from that 40-minute game. Something happened during the game, and Haley she likes to talk shit. So I imagine all game she was talking her shit. And the player from Texas had something to say about it. It's the same thing like with Clark. If you're gonna talk shit, own your shit. If you're gonna do stuff, own it. Like, you can't be in the press conference like, oh, I respect Texas and they're a great team and this and that. Like, no, she didn't just randomly decide to talk shit. And I don't care if she had 2 points. Like, it's not about that. Like, I'm sure Haley probably said some disrespectful or wild shit during the game. And she's responding. It's so easy, but they got blown out. She had 2 points. Like that looks ridiculous. No, so I'm sure there was so much more said. But again, I'm here for it. I'm here for the spiciness. I'm here for the beef. I'm here for the storylines. Because even if people didn't watch that game yesterday, it was all over the internet today.
Was everywhere.
So I'm here for it.
I have a question. So what if so the opposite? If Haley did own up to it and make it a moment in the press conference, we'd be talking about that moment even more than we are right now.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be better or worse? Because those were her options to talk about the press conference. She could either make it more of a thing or hush it down.
I don't even think it's making it better or worse. It's just saying what happened. It's just keeping it real. The way she handled it makes this is how I interpret it, like, oh, I'm this little innocent player
Which, if anybody's ever watched Haley Van Lith, that's not the truth.
But that's how when I read that back, that's how it was perceived to me, is that she's in the press conference like, I have no idea why she would say something to me. That I respect them so much, and I think they're such a great team.
I will say, did you read the post-game quote that she did give? She gave one speech at the podium, and I guess she just talked to maybe some reporters in the locker room after, and it's an amazing quote. I think there was some frustration going on. I'll respect Texas is a great team. I don't have anything to say. I'm not going to let no one disrespect me, but my teammates got my back, and I don't have nothing bad to say. They're coached great. They have great players, so it is what it is. People are sad when they lose. I'd be sad too.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Amazing.
That's my point right there. She tried to act all innocent and then threw in the shade at the bottom. Like,
people are sad when they lose. I'd be sad too.
She probably did that shit all game.
Mic
so
drop.
that's my point. Like, she tried to act all innocent.
I wish she said that one at the podium.
Yeah. Like, no,
I get you.
But I'm here for I'm here for the shit talking.
The beef is good.
I'm here for it. And it's the NCAA tournament. A lot's on the line. Like, yeah, I'm sure she was pissed and sad that she lost.
And Louisville was pretty disrespected all year because they hadn't really played up to par. So I'm sure that Louisville is also feeling some emotion of that.
But is it disrespect or it is what it is? Like, they didn't do anything this season, so I don't think it's disrespect. I mean, honestly, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like Iowa could talk about disrespect. They should honestly have been the number 1 seed over Stanford.
There's your proof.
Yeah, so I don't. Louisville wasn't disrespected. They didn't play well this year. They had some really, really bad losses.
They did. I mean, I had them out in the first round.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
Shall we ring? The Tennessee Volunteers look fucking good.
Matt and I said it. When are you guys going to listen to us? We said it. Tennessee is going to be a scary team in the tournament.
They are really putting it together at the right time.
They looked really, really good yesterday. And what impressed me the most was that their 2 stars didn't even have the best games, but their bench showed up. They looked really, really good yesterday. They were active on defense. The emotion they played with, the energy. It was a great all-around game.
47-point win in the round of 32 is big time.
Yeah, if I'm Virginia Tech, I'm a little nervous.
I would be. I mean, this is a team that we talked about. They were preseason, top 5? Everyone thought that they'd be this 1 seed caliber team. They obviously, Tamari Key being out with blood clots was a major blow, and then they didn't really regain that sort of confidence again until the end of the year when they were able to put the pieces together. But now it's like, oh damn, they've got 2 W caliber players in their starting lineup, and now everyone else is feeling that level of confidence around them. This is the team that's ready to make noise now.
I think so. And what makes Tennessee so dangerous is, to your point, they have 2 players that you can toss in the ball and say, go get a bucket. And you need that in the tournament. Look on both the men's and women's side, how many games have come down to last second shots or, back and forth those last couple of minutes. You need somebody you can just toss the ball to and say, go get a bucket. And they have those 2 players.
I'd be terrified if I'm Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and I'm still not sold on Virginia Tech. So
we did we both say that they would be the first number 1 seed down? You had Indiana maybe out pretty early too.
I had Indiana losing to Washington State.
Oh.
Quick moment of silence.
Let's go, girls.
But no, I had them losing in this next round to Washington State. No.
You had Indiana out in this.
Yeah, I had Indiana to Washington State. I have Tennessee beating Virginia Tech in this round on my bracket.
I think I do too. I feel pretty good about it. This is their moment, so I'm pretty happy about it.
I'm pumped about that.
Bring me into UConn. She's back.
AZ Fudd is back. She has one of the purest. Her mid range,
so smooth. Chef
kiss. I love watching AZ play, and she never gets rattled. She's always very calm and composed. Excited to see her back out there and playing at elite level. But I think the unsung hero is Edwards.
She's my favorite. Aaliyah Edwards is awesome.
I think it's so easy when you have a player like AZ or when you have Paige. I mean, obviously we know she's not playing, but when you have those 2 players, to forget about Edwards. But she is an elite player. Honestly, she might be their most important player. She's super efficient. She was 9 for 11 in their last game. I think UConn goes as far as Edwards can carry them.
I agree. I feel like this has been the perfect year for Aaliyah Edwards. I know that obviously we would all love for Paige to be playing, but now Aaliyah Edwards has had to change her game a little bit to start creating some more offense for herself and inserting herself more into the way they score, and she's done it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's really showed that she is a star on a team with a lot of them, which I think is also a really hard thing to do, especially as a post player.
Yeah.
But Edwards has gotten better every single year. I think we're now talking about a player who you can start thinking about as a lottery pick when the WNBA comes around, just even based off this year's work alone. But yeah, I think you're totally right. Not a lot of teams have a person who can stay in front of Aaliyah Edwards. She's a really, really scary player right now.
Mm-hmm. And I think teams that are most dangerous right now they have two things. They have that player that can just go get a bucket, AZ.
Easy. Yeah.
And then they have a center. They have a true post player. And you don't see a lot of true posts now. So like it creates matchup nightmares when you have an elite post player.
I agree. UConn is real. I mean, it feels weird to be like, hey guys, like UConn is actually scary this year, but I feel like it's legitimate. I mean, this has been a really hard year for that team through injuries, and they look kind of messy at some points. But now you're looking at UConn and you're like, they could be Final Four bound.
No, for sure. I mean, and I think that they found motivation in that everybody's counting them out when they are coming off a Final Four. Like, they're still an elite team. They still have elite players. But when players like Paige and AZ go down, it's like, everybody like, oh, what? UConn's not going to do anything. So I think they found motivation in that too.
Really impressive year for UConn. That's what it comes down to. Shall we give our picks?
Let's do Sweet 16. Matt, take another drink. I mean, you're not enjoying our good margarita by our friends at
21 Seeds.
It's very good.
It's so cucumbery.
I like cucumber.
Yeah, me too.
It's like fresh and it's like all refreshing. All right.
Should we do some quick picks? I think we got to do. Let's each guess our Sweet 16, and then based on who we pick in the Sweet 16, who we think is going to win and make it to the Final Four in each region.
Let's do it.
Okay. South Carolina, UCLA.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Maryland, Notre Dame.
Maryland.
South Carolina, Maryland.
Okay, here. I think we have a legit chance.
Okay.
I think we did not have our girl Diamond in the first matchup, and she's playing at an even higher level right now. I think she's motivated. She wants to prove some things. So we have to play damn near a perfect game.
More than perfect.
But I don't think you can clearly say South Carolina. South Carolina, obviously they end up winning by a lot, but they struggled that second round.
But yes, South Carolina did not roll in their round of 32 matchup.
Yeah. Again, we had to play a daggone near perfect game, but I think we play very hard.
Agreed.
We do play good defense.
Agreed.
We just need to cut down. Like, again, we cannot have careless turnovers. Diamond can't get in foul trouble. Shy can't get in foul trouble.
Get ready to get some defensive minutes out of Leah Boston, Diamond.
Yeah. I don't want to pick.
I was going to say, this is a long-winded way of you saying...
Go Terps, go Terps,
Terps,
go Terps.
Terps. Wow.
Go Terps, go Terps.
Wow.
It's the year of upsets. Go Terps.
I'm with it. I'm going to feed off the energy. I mean, my brain says South Carolina, but I can't be that person.
Go Terps.
I think, go Terps. We have Maryland in the Final Four. Nova, UM.
I'm going to go with Miami. I'm not sold on Nova.
Okay, interesting.
I think the athleticism of Miami is going to get to Maddie. I don't think Maddie will be able to.
I'm going to take Nova in this round just because Maddie she's been nice.
Well, we all know who's going to win this one.
LSU, Utah. This was such a toss-up for me even before the tournament.
After watching Utah, I admittedly I hadn't watched much Utah. I'm going to go with LSU. Utah.
I mean, LSU impressed me in the game against Michigan, but I'm still going to go with Utah.
Real quick, can we talk about how, since we're on LSU,
go ahead.
how Angel Reese did the gritty from half court back? That is some disrespectful shit. If I'm on the other team and see her getting back on defense doing the damn gritty, listen.
The problem is it's funny.
Listen.
It's so funny.
That's so disrespectful.
Unfortunately, that makes me like her even more.
Yeah, it's just no, it's true disrespect.
It's so
I don't really have to get back on defense. And I'm also going to dance while I'm doing it.
It was good. It was good. Let's go, Queens. So you have LSU.
Yeah.
I have Utah. Yeah. All right. You have Miami, LSU. Who's making the Final Four?
Miami, LSU.
And I've got Utah, Nova, and I'm going to take Utah in the Final Four in a weirdo one. Tech, Tennessee.
I
also have Tennessee. Ohio State, UConn.
UConn.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about UConn.
Yeah, I mean,
I cannot believe Ohio State's.
I can't either. I can't either. I mean, I had UNC beaten. Like UNC lost that game.
I agree. Shout out to Deja Kelly though; she was amazing.
Yeah, she pulled a Paul Pierce.
Tennessee, UConn. Amazing Elite Eight game.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one, and that's going to take us back to the old UConn Tennessee games.
I want it.
But I'm going to go with UConn.
I'm going to go with UConn too. Final one, Ole Miss, Louisville. Cannot believe either of these teams are here, but shouts to them both.
I'm going to roll with Ole Miss.
That's fun.
I'm going to roll with Ole Miss.
I'm going to roll with Ole Miss too, because I think that's fun. Colorado, Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah, I think so too. And then Ole Miss, Iowa.
I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
Woo! Really? Ole Miss in the Final Four? After
watching them play and seeing the intensity they play with, how they can execute their game plan, the defense, like I'm going to go with Ole Miss. And I don't think Caitlin has enough help.
Yeah. I mean,
if you can shut down Caitlin, if you can contain her, like look at, I mean, she still had 20 against us, but we shut her down and blew them out.
Yeah.
It's so possible. If you can contain, I don't want to say shut her down because she affects the game in so many ways. But if you can contain her and make things hard on her, limit her visibility for passing lanes, limit her touches, and they just don't. She doesn't have enough help. I'm gonna go Ole Miss. Ole Miss, don't let me down.
I'm gonna go Iowa, but I like the I like the spirit. I like the spirit here. Final ding.
Final ding.
I would like to let you talk about Dawn Staley's video with Bleacher Report. If you want to explain to the class what was said in that video.
Class. Essentially what Dawn was saying is there's so much talk around Caitlin Clark. Like, I'm scrolling through Twitter and every day I think I see the Atlantic post of how she's the face of women's basketball. So what Dawn was saying is you can still celebrate Caitlin and her greatness and success and celebrating other players. It's what we talk a lot about in the W is there's this tradition of only marketing a handful of players when there's so many good players in the W. There's so many good players in college basketball where right now all you're hearing about is Caitlin Clark. It's all deserving, and that's what Dawn was saying. And again, the two, you can call out what's reality and still celebrate Caitlin's greatness. And that's essentially what Dawn was saying is, Aaliyah is still a great player. She's still in the conversation, but you don't really hear about her. You just hear about South Carolina. Maddie from Villanova, I didn't really hear about her till later in the season, but she's been putting up these numbers all year. Yep. So it's like the media has a tendency to fixate on one player, and that's all you hear about. And it's doing the women's game a disservice, and it's not helping it grow because there are so many good players to be talked about. All of her hype is deserving. She's put up great numbers, but you can still celebrate these other players at the same time.
I mean, I think that's a true ass statement. And hopefully the Sweet 16 is able to showcase now all of the talent that we've talked about on today's show. And even further, it's not just Caitlin Clark. Yeah. There is a lot of talent in college basketball right
There's
now.
A ton. And yeah, there's a ton of talent. And I just think we have such a bad job. We do such a bad job in society. It's like when you call out a reality, or you
don't get defensive.
Yeah, like that can be true. It's just because I'm saying that there's other good players doesn't mean I don't think Caitlin Clark is the truth. Like she's nice. Like and that's she is nice. But there are a lot of other nice players and they should be recognized too, because then it's like, all right, what if Caitlin gets knocked out the tournament?
Also, all these major publications are going to be like,
there's a lot of players to talk about, and
it's so true. I mean, I hope media takes that criticism seriously because it is real. I know a lot of places like to parachute in and cover the big moments in women's sports, and now a lot of them, just like they were in the Sabrina era, which again, Sabrina rightfully deserved a ton of coverage, but a lot of big legacy places swooped in and suddenly got on the Sabrina hype train and then left when she left college. Yeah. And I think the same thing could be happening with Caitlin Clark. So I think that everyone should try to be a little more cognizant of this and realizing that there's a lot of depth in this league right now. Yeah. A lot of players in college who are going to be pros and going to be excellent pros. So it's not just Iowa, it's not just Caitlin. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like AZ Fudd isn't even getting the proper hype, and she plays for UConn.
It blows me that AZ doesn't. AZ is nice.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think because well, one, before we move on from Caitlin, I think is lazy. from the media outlets. It's like it's easy to not do your research and dig deep to see what's out there. But AZ is one of the players that she deserves so much more hype than what she gets, and she's only a sophomore. And you don't hear about her. AZ can put up Caitlin numbers
1,000%.
And I think the reason why we don't hear much about, I mean, granted she was hurt this year, but AZ's not this shit talker.
Yep.
She's not super flashy, but she can put up numbers.
Yep.
So it makes you again question why they only. I mean, we know why, and a lot of. I mean, keep it 100. Like race does play a part into it because of what the mass media pushes on all levels. But AZ's very deserving. I mean, look at what she did last year. Now the number she had 22 the other night. I'm very excited to see where AZ's career is heading. But,
totally. And there's someone for everyone in college basketball as well. I mean, yeah, Angel Reese is grittying down the court on defense. Like, how is that not a play that makes everyone captivated by what she's bringing to the court? Like, there are a lot of names.
And we need that.
There are a lot of personalities. 100% agree. So
yeah.
Everybody just do a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. I feel like it's an every year topic too. Just do better, care more.
Yeah. And then, but I feel like Angel, she gets a lot of bad press when it's like, oh, it's disrespectful. Oh, the game doesn't need that.
Hilarious.
And like, if that's what gets her going, it's causing nobody harm.
No.
So for me, it is fine unless it's causing somebody harm or there's disrespect. Now I know I think the gritty was disrespectful, but like in a fun way. Like that's just another form of talking shit.
It's sport.
Exactly. So it's like this line too of like that is acceptable for some players and not for others. And you look at like the hate South Carolina has received. It's like very disheartening when you're scrolling on social and you see what Dawn talks about, or you see South Carolina fans, they'll screenshot messages from message boards or Facebook, and it's attacking their character and calling them thugs. And it's like, why? They are a very well-coached team. No, why are they thugs? None of those players have ever gotten in trouble. I've never heard anything bad about them. Aaliyah Boston, if I was a parent and I had a young child interested in basketball, that's a role model. I'm going to say, watch her. She plays the game the right way. She's articulate. Like, so I need people to ask themselves why. Why is this team full of black women coached by a black woman? Why are we saying they're thugs? So
key point: ask yourselves questions.
Yeah, like
start thinking about why things are the way they are.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we got real at the end.
Yeah, we did.
But it was necessary.
It was.
Final sip for our first sponsored video.
I know. Guys, this is very good stuff. We'll drop all the links in the bio. We have a bio now, Matt. We're like moving on up, like George and Wheezy.
We did it.
We did it.
All right, friends. We'll see you all for the Final Four.
Peace.